In a far corner of the galaxy, there existed a peaceful but fragile alien race known as the Zenari. They were a species with delicate bodies, their skin as translucent as glass, and their eyes glowing faintly with a soft blue light. The Zenari had lived for thousands of years in harmony with nature and the universe, never seeking conflict and always maintaining a deep respect for all living things. Their civilization was ancient but peaceful. They had no weapons, no military forces, and no desire for conquest. They were not capable of the same violence or aggression that other species had. Instead, they believed in coexistence, focusing on knowledge, art, and the healing of others. But their peaceful existence came to an abrupt end when disaster struck. A massive interstellar war broke out in the galaxy, and while the Zenari were not involved, they were caught in the crossfire. The warring factions saw the Zenari as weak and unworthy of survival, dismissing them as a non-threat. As the war spread, it destroyed entire systems, and the Zenari homeworld, Helpless, was hit by a series of devastating attacks. Their cities were bombed, their fields were scorched, and their people were slaughtered. Other alien races who had once promised to help the Zenari now turned their backs on them. The aliens had no reason to waste resources on a species that posed no danger. The Zenari were left stranded, abandoned by their allies and alone in the galaxy. No one came to their aid. That was, until the humans arrived. The humans were a young race, only a few hundred years old in comparison to the ancient civilizations of the galaxy. Their methods were aggressive, their technology advanced, but their values were strange to many. The humans were driven by ambition, hunger for power, and a desire to dominate the stars. But they were also fiercely protective of those they deemed worthy of their protection. When humans arrived in the Zenari system, they found the once thriving civilization in ruins. Helpless was a broken world, its once lush landscapes now scared by war and destruction. The Zenari were scattered, surviving in small groups, their population decimated. But the humans, seeing an opportunity, did not hesitate. They saw weakness, yes, but they also saw an opportunity to prove themselves superior. The humans didn't offer help out of kindness or compassion. They were driven by the thrill of conquest. They began to rebuild Zenari society, not for the Zenari's sake, but for their own gain. They turned Helpless into a new outpost, one that they could control, one that they could exploit. The Zenari were forced into servitude, their delicate bodies now tools for the humans' projects. They were given menial tasks, treated like nothing more than workers, forced to obey the orders of the humans without question. The Zenari, who once held knowledge and art in the highest regard, were now reduced to mere instruments in a galaxy where only strength mattered. They were humiliated, their culture destroyed, and their people oppressed. Yet, even in the face of this crushing injustice, the Zenari did not resist. Their nature, though once peaceful, was now a liability. They lacked the will to fight back. It wasn't fear that kept them silent, but the deep-rooted belief that violence was wrong, that peace could still be achieved. However, the humans did not care about such ideals. They were ruthless in their dominance, and as the Zenari watched their world crumble further, their hope began to fade. They had believed that other races would come to their rescue, that there was still some shred of goodness left in the galaxy. But one by one, those hopes were shattered. No one helped them. No one cared. It was only the humans who remained. The same humans who had taken over their planet, who had turned their world into a battlefield. The same humans who saw them as weak and insignificant. In a twisted way, they had become the Zenari's only hope. Despite this, some Zenari began to wonder, could it be that there was something greater at work here? Could it be that the humans, despite their heartlessness, were showing them something important? Were they pushing them to evolve, to adapt, to become stronger? One small group of Zenari, led by a brave young female named Mara, began to quietly observe the humans. Mara was different from most of her kind. She had always believed in peace, but her experiences had begun to shape her into something else, something stronger. As time passed, she gathered a small band of Zenari who shared her curiosity. They began to learn from the humans, studying their ways, their tactics, and their relentless pursuit of power. They observed the humans' advanced technology and began to replicate it, slowly at first, but with growing confidence. In the shadows of their servitude, the Zenari began to evolve. They learned how to fight, how to adapt, how to survive in a galaxy that had shown them nothing but cruelty. They learned that sometimes to survive you had to become heartless yourself. It wasn't long before the humans began to notice. At first, they scoffed at the Zenari's attempts to stand up for themselves, but soon the humans saw something they hadn't expected, a spark of defiance, a glimmer of power that they hadn't anticipated. One day, as the humans were conducting a routine inspection of a Zenari settlement, Mara's group struck. They had prepared for this moment for months, their minds sharp, their bodies strong. They had finally learned the humans' ways, using their own weapons and technology against them. The humans fought back, of course. They were stronger, better equipped, and far more ruthless. But the Zenari had something the humans didn't: unity, resilience, and the will to survive. The battle was fierce, and in the end, the Zenari emerged victorious. With the humans defeated, the Zenari reclaimed their world. They did not celebrate their victory with bloodlust or cruelty. Instead, they took their first steps toward rebuilding, not as slaves but as masters of their own destiny. They had learned from the humans, and they had become stronger for it. The galaxy would remember the Zenari, not as a weak, peaceful race, but as a species that had survived, adapted, and overcome the cruelty of the heartless humans. And from that day forward, no one would ever underestimate the power of the Zenari again.